Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Katania Alvin from London. Now here, Supreme Court stole over 9 trillion illegitimate Heneghan. I get this from Glenn Kennedy, and there are some very interesting things. But one of the points people have been asking me, let me just say the date. The date is the Sunday, the 24th of February. It's a glorious blue sky, and I've got everything. I'm going out onto the heath to read and do some meditation, and you just enjoy the sun for a bit. So I listened to this, and this came in on February the 17th. Tom Heneghan and Stu Webb. I've been listening to them for ages, and like I've said before to all the subscribers that actually catch me saying it, don't believe everything. In fact, always question it. It could be true. It could not be. And people have been saying about the Gitmo, who's at Gitmo? Is Tony Blair at Gitmo? Is Soros at Gitmo? I don't believe it. And that's quite understandable. All right? It's quite understandable. But I came across this, and I'm going to...
If you would like to donate to Stu or Tom, you can do so with the directions in the white on your screen.
Yeah, he talks about that, and you can. Now, we get up to something around 12, I think it was. Let me just listen to that.
Nugent has been given President false financial reports. Unfortunately, Trustee Lagarde, the IMF director, has figured him out on how criminal and treasonous Mr. Nugent is, because Mr. Nugent takes orders from Henry Paulson.
Oh, there we are. Mr. Muchin is also taking orders, they're saying, from Henry Paulson. Again, hear it. You might also have other information. But as we go on...
Bush fraud Secretary of Treasury, he takes orders from Timothy Geithner. Obama fraud is Treasury Secretary, going all the way back to Robert Rubin's, Clinton's Treasury Secretary. And what do all these people have in common, Glenn? They all work for Goldman Sachs and HSBC and everything.
They all work for Goldman Sachs, HSBC. Just use your own thoughts about this.
Whole bunch of stuff. So that's the update on what we have here this morning. And again, there are rumors too that Bill Clinton is thinking about committing suicide.
Bill Clinton is thinking about committing suicide. I mean, what wonderful terminology, thinking about it. I suppose people do.
Apparently, his health is really deteriorating now. And of course, junior fraud, I would not be surprised if any minute now we hear that he suffered the same fate as his father, given what's going on in the military tribunals. And Obama apparently is begging for his life, as he's in the past singing and saying he couldn't do anything because he was afraid of being assassinated after they failed to assassinate him in 2008, when Hillary and Junior wanted to move him out of the way. That's when Hillary made the famous comment that she wasn't going to quit the race because she remembered what happened to Robert F. Kennedy. Well, they were trying to martial law with Chinese troops after instigating race riots. So, again, Obama really never had any power whatsoever. He was a puppet, a stooge, nothing but a front for the international globalist banking cabal.
And that's what I've been saying. He was dancing to the tune of the British banks, of the British Empire, actually, in the central banks.
And of course, he appointed Hillary as Citibank, wanted him to appoint Hillary as Secretary of State, which they did. And off she went, making off new wars to go along with Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria and Libya. War.
Exactly, war.
So,
rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britain never, never, never shall be slaves, only her people. Oh dear, how often did I sing that lustily at school. Now do I know what it means.
That's the update for the day. You have anything to add, Ben?
Well, I just want to say, this is some mind-blowing information that you're giving out. Now, I know it might be hard for some people to believe, including myself, but I guess we're going to find out. And I can see their point, because if they came out and basically said the Bushes were the criminals, Obama. It would cause such chaos to know that 40 years now we've had criminals running the show.
Exactly. At least 40 years. I think Britain's had it longer.
I can see why they'd want to do it in secret. But
Oh, indeed, because of course we go back to the First World War and also the Boer War.
all I can tell you, I still want to see proof, just personally, and I guess I'll get that proof if all of a sudden George Jr. dies supposedly the next year, because I don't think there's no way he would die of natural causes in the next year. But if all of a sudden he dies, then I think then I will definitely think that this could be happening. I mean, I want to believe everything, but I can't until I see some more proof. But there's no doubt that they are panicking. They are definitely panicking. That's a fact. You can tell it.
No, they are. And again, I know a lot of people say, well, Tom, you're giving out information that I don't hear anywhere else. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can only tell you what I'm told by the U.S. Central Intelligence Task Force.
I didn't quite catch that. The U.S. intelligence something.
Okay, they operate out of CENTCOM in New Orleans. They're very, very accurate about what they've given me over the years. I can only say one thing. The military tribunals are secret. They're being held in what they call cabinet. And there is a team, they do have an opinion.
They're being held in something called cabinets, and the military tribunals do have an opinion. I think that's what he said.
That if they were to show these trials publicly to the American people, that would have caused a massive insurrection on American soil, which is very well could. Because you see what we have here is a criminal cabal that basically set themselves in motion after the assassination of President Kennedy. And they've been setting in motion control of this republic ever since. And it gets back to the Federal Reserve banking system.
Exactly.
It gets back to the inner city of London.
Exactly.
I can report too, I forgot to report that Tony Blair has been convicted in the military tribunal.
He forgot to report it. Tony Blair has been convicted in the military tribunals. That's point 1329, as he's finished.
The former British Prime Minister. And they've ordered his execution.
And they've ordered his execution. Well, he's committed crimes of huge crimes against humanity. Both the American soldiers, the British soldiers, and the Iraqis. And God knows who else as well.
If he ever shows up again on American soil, he will be arrested. This guy committed capital high treason on behalf of the British monarchy against the United States of America. Okay, so again, I can only say, I understand, and your point is well taken, but there is the American people have been lied to. They've been misled.
So have the British people been lied to and misled, and so have the majority of countries been lied to and misled. There are some that perhaps haven't, and those are the ones that Britain and America have been desperately trying to get rid of.
Of course, a lot of that dies through the criminal Mockingbird media, which they were able to set up and control ever since the assassination of President Kennedy. The media never told the truth about what happened with JFK. They lied us through the war in Vietnam. The whole Watergate thing was set up to basically about the LBJ makes the conclusion on the assassination of President Kennedy.
Exactly. Now, the other thing that the American people were lied to, and of course the Brits were as well, was the fact that it was blamed on Japan, the Pearl Harbor. Now, the Pearl Harbor strike was manipulated, obviously between the British and the Americans, to cause the American people to agree to coming into the war, Second World War. Very interesting book. I know years and years ago, my husband was an absolutely avid war book reader. We were both in the war. He was a year older than I am. And so he was born in 1938. And he was absolutely, so many books, not all, so many books were war books. And I remember him reading this and telling me.
Deep Throat was actually Danny Bush. They lied to us about the Iranian hostage crisis. They lied to us about, they tried to frame Ronald Reagan for the Iran-Contra.
The Iran-Contra, but going back to Iranian, I mean, it was the British that actually got the Shah of Persia out. I mean, I'm wanting to do a whole story about that. This is the value of being, oh, truly, to any of you youngsters out there, age is not about getting wrinkly. Hopefully we can forestall that with good food and good thoughts, but it gives you a perspective, and you remember the things that went on.
They lied and covered up the fact that Clinton was CIA partners with the Bush family. They lied to us that Kenneth Starr was covering all this up to protect the CIA, the Bushes and the Clintons. They lied to us and failed to cover up the truth about the election 2000 coup d'etat. They lied to us.
And Greg Palast has got a brilliant book about that called The Best Democracy Money Can Buy. Greg Palast, excellent read. And I went to Oxford Union because I heard that he was talking there about his book. And I went to listen to him, and that met him there, and then met him on other occasions when he came over to announce his other books, etc. Very, very honest man, very sincere, very good writer.
Covered up the real facts about 9/11, which have now come out, which proved that the neothermite explosives were used to take down the 9/11, the World Trade Center building.
And if you go to Able Danger, and he's got a video where he's talking to David Hawkins, and they're talking about CERN, not CERN, they're talking about, oh, the name of it's gone out of my head at the moment. But anyway, go to Able Danger. I'll remember it and I'll put it in the description box.
They lied to us about the war in Iraq, the illegal spying, the illegal bailout, the illegal loss of funds of the banking system in 2008. They lied to us about that Obama was born a genius, with a British CIA stooge. They lied to us. They know he was a CIA agent and a mentally ill lesbian that should have been in jail, not running for anything. Yeah, they lied to us for years, Glenn. That's because we've been an occupied country for a long time. It's called, as Stu Webb points out, the shadow government. That's what it's called, the shadow government. It's all based on that Federal Reserve Bank. It's all based on dangerous trading, a line of credit for the ruling elite, while the middle class gets screwed. What we had under Obama was safety and socialism.
Exactly. Now, you see, Britain has been running the show in America. There's a series of videos that you really do need to go and watch, and it takes time, it takes days, all right? But it's called War Castles, WAR, and then Castles, CASTLES, -0. Now start with that one, and then go and watch the 1 to 12 series, because you will learn so much about the truth. There's also more information in the description box of Glenn Gould. It is absolutely essential watching.
Reward the super rich and the super poor. That's what most of these Democratic candidates ran for office are right now, safety and socialism. And of course, Junior Bush fraud was a cut-out Nazi. But once again, remember, what is a Nazi?
Okay, I've just got a couple of minutes. God bless. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day. This is Catania Alvin saying cheerio.